Well, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Dr. Dara Knight and Miss Petton, and Minister Byrne, to the campaign co-chairs, to Dr. Golfman, and as well to Drs. Jim and Leslie Rourke. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Desmond Whalen, one of the third-year medical students here at Memorial University. So I'm just going to warn you up front, I've been practicing all day because people tell me that I talk a little fast. My philosophy is that the rest of the world just listens a little bit too slow, but I've really been trying. So if you can't keep up, just work on it. So I grew up in a small community, rural Newfoundland community at Cape and Cove, in what I think is without a doubt the best province in Canada. We're immense in a culture here of past successes and moving forward in a way that's not comparable to anything of the past. We have an energy here of impending potential, and I can say without a doubt that the Faculty of Medicine is sitting right in the middle of that energy of impending potential. We've got opportunities here for groundbreaking research using innovative technology, and we're doing that by using healthcare leaders. The Faculty of Medicine can stop no shorter than being a leader in rural and remote medicine delivery and healthcare decision making. Now, I don't know if any of you remember where you were on September 21st, 2010, but I can tell you that I certainly do. Because on that day, Hurricane Igor hit this province with a force that was not prophesied by anybody. I was in St. John's at the time. I was actually in my second year of my undergrad degree. And I was watching everything unfold in my small community of Cape and Cove over Facebook through pictures that people were posting. And I said, you know, I got to go home and help with some of the efforts when I go home this weekend. So on Friday, when I'd finished up my courses for the week, I said, I'm going to go home and help out. And I took everything short of an airplane to get to Cape and Cove that evening. I was in a car, I was in an ATV, I was in a boat, I walked for a bit, and if you can believe it or not, I actually spent about half an hour in the back of an Atlantic grocery truck. So it took everything that I could to get home. When I got home, people were in a panic. Roads weren't traversable and bridges were washed out. The gas station was running out of gas, but particularly what I saw is that people couldn't get to their doctor's appointment in the local service centre of Clarenville, and people were starting to run out of medications, and that was really causing a panic among the community. So I was kind of going around all weekend. Me and my buddy were riding around on the ATVs, and we were helping people clean out their houses, and we were delivering medications that the fire department had picked up in Clarenville, and we were doing whatever we could. When I got back to St. John's, I was kind of destined for a career in education. I was doing biology at the time, and I said I'd like to be a biology teacher. But something changed me that weekend, and I saw in that little tiny community that people really needed help in healthcare, and they needed a champion, particularly in rural healthcare. And I decided that I wanted to be one of those champions. So I remember the day that I got into medical school. I was back home again in Cape and Cove, and I was tutoring at the local high school. There are actually more people in this room right now than were in my school K-12. And I was sitting down with a student, and I was helping them through some math problem, and booming over the speaker came the principal, and he said, Desmond Whalen to the office. And I was in my fourth year of university at the time. And I said, uh-oh, still getting in trouble. So I went up, and the principal was standing up, and the vice principal was standing up, and the secretary was there. She said, Desmond, your mom called. You have to go home right now. The mail came. I said, oh boy. This could be good or this could be bad. So I ran out the door, and I jumped aboard my car, and I drove from Little Heartsease to Cape and Cove. When I got on my front step, Mom was standing up with the letter, but the mail lady was still there. So I got out of my car, and I walked up to the step, and Mom was holding the letter, and the mail lady said, I'm not going. I said, no. She said, no, I told everybody at the post office this morning there was a lot riding on this letter, and I want to see it. I said, all right. So I opened up the letter, and in big, bold, italics, underlined letters, it said, congratulations. So I yelled, Mom cried, dog barked, and the mail lady cried, believe it or not. So when I saw that the mail lady cried, I knew that there was a full community behind me, and I can say with certainty that since I've got to Memorial University, that same community of people has been behind me as well. I've worked with some amazing health leaders. I spent some time in Twillingate working with Dr. Mo Ravalia. He's actually in the mural right here behind me. He's a Twillingate physician. He was recently inducted into the Order of Canada. He's been inspiring young people such as myself and many students in the Faculty of Medicine to go into rural and remote health care. He's helping to build that future of healthcare leaders that we're talking about in this campaign. I work with researchers such as Adam Dabrowski, who's here tonight. He's a researcher in simulation-based medical education, and he's looking at ways to teach healthcare professionals in a safe and effective environment. He's building a world-class simulation center right here over my shoulder in the CLSC, and he's teaching you to practice those skills when it's high stakes and it really matters. He wants to teach people how to practice those skills, not till you get them right, but until you cannot get them wrong. Each and every day, learners here in the Faculty of Medicine, myself and community included, we're surrounded by mentors, we're surrounded by leaders, and we're surrounded by researchers, all helping to foster that human potential that's right here as some of the healthcare leaders of tomorrow. What we hope from each and every one of you is that you will in some way contribute to that success. Help contribute to the success of those leaders who will work with Dr. Ravalia, who will work with Dr. Dabrowski, and who will help become part of that Faculty of Medicine community that I've been so proud to be a part of. If we're going to make this place a leader in rural and remote distributed telemedicine, if we're going to make this place a leader in research, if we're going to make this place a place that turns out top-notch leaders in healthcare, and if we're going to answer questions of clinical significance, we need to do that together. Now, I'd be remiss tonight if I didn't take some time to thank Dr. James Rourke, the outgoing Dean of the Faculty of Medicine. They say that in life, your future successes are supported by the shoulders that you stand on, and I can say without question, Dr. Rourke, that you've given us some solid shoulders to stand on. Please don't be a stranger to this place. The path that you have laid is certainly helping it become what it's going to be in the future, so we hope that we'll still see you around. September 21st, 2010, it's the day I decided to go into medical school. The day I decided that I want to give back to this province. And I've learned a few things. I've learned in life you can become a leader or you can become a follower. You can stand idly by, you can watch things pass, or you can jump right in and help out. I know that most of you have learned those same things and you've all jumped in to help out in some way. I want to thank each and every one of you who have attended tonight and shown your dedication to the Faculty of Medicine. Your contributions are helping to change the healthcare of tomorrow in a way that you will never imagine. Thank you all.